Hello, photo class. This is Fitchhorn, and today we are going to take our Goldsworthy nature documentary photos that documented the process of us creating an ephemeral art installation somewhere out in nature over the last 6 days, and turn these images using Photopea into another type of art, whether it's abstract or you're going to be using your filter gallery to make it look like a painting. You are going to have to edit your one unedited Goldsworthy photo into 4 artistic photos. All right, so as an example, I am going to appropriate Mr. Goldsworthy's image. My images are not on this computer, so I am going to start a new project, or open from computer, and I'm going to go ahead and look for my image. And I know I saved it. I made sure that I saved it on my desktop as, it should have just been image. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Download. I saved it as download. All right. And there it is. If you need to adjust, ooh, it looks really pixelated, which is very strange. Let me see my image size. I'm going to go to image size. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it must have taken the thumbnail instead of the original one. And look at the DPI is really low. So hopefully you guys are not getting your image size as being this small, because this will like really affect the quality of your work and give you a lower grade. If you're using images off your phone, you should be fine, and this is why we don't use Google Images for our work, because it usually downsizes them into a really low resolution image so people don't steal other people's artwork, and this is the result. So unfortunately, just for the tutorial today, we're going to have to look at it this way small because I can't stand the pixelation. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to decide how I want to edit this one. And there are some tools that I don't think you explored yet, in which I just want you to know for future reference for photography editing in either Photopea or Photoshop. You can go into filter. It is on both Photoshop and Photopea. And we're going to go into the filter gallery later, but I wanted to kind of show you, not only can you create blur, and we're going to try distortion. You can add noise. Sometimes adding noise to photos makes it look more vintage. Look at that. You can add dust and scratch. You can pixelate it, which I can't stand pixelation, but in this case, some people use it to make it look like mosaics or different effects. This one leads to really strange effects if you want to try it, but you cannot turn it in for a project. But it never hurts to go in and play around with some of these options. And again, we're in filter, the drop-down filter. Stylizing will have you could do oil paint or solarize or trace contour and add wind. Some really strange stuff. The other in the Fourier, we're not going to talk about right now. But let's go back up to the distortion, because it'd be really interesting for you guys to see what happens with some of these distortions so you can create abstract art. So if I go to pinch, all right, and you can see it starts pinching the photo, and as you pinch it more and more, look at that, you can create like a pinch. Oh, that really looks in a I don't know if I like this one at all, so I'm going to hit reset and just cancel, because I'm not sure if I like that one. So let's go into filter and let's try in distort ripple, right? And you could see what happened. It turned it into water ripples, which is really hecka cool, right? Look at that. See that? Did you see what happens here, you guys? That's pretty fabulous, right? And you can change, notice, in the direction of the slider depending on what direction it ripples it in opposite directions, and you can choose the size of the ripples. Like, look at that. You could make a photo look like it's in, you know, like in the water when it's not. We're already in the water in this photo, but still. Okay, and then if, let's say this is the one you're going to turn into abstract art, because looking at this now, this does not look like my installation anymore. This is a complete abstraction of stones and sticks in water. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to change the name of my PSD to last name. Now listen very carefully what I told you in that document today, that you had to do last name, first initial, underscore, and then you're going to go ahead and name this ephemeral, but this one was the ripple effect. Like, name each one by the effect, all right? And then what I'm going to do is just say the JPEG. I don't need the PSD of this one. And so I'm going to go export as JPEG. And make sure you use high quality. It's already low quality as it is. So I want it the best low quality photo I can save. All right, so now I can see the download safely over here. Now let's try a different download. I can either go back in my history tab. You guys see this history tab up here? I can go backwards all the way up to when I opened it, or I could just, if you guys see, I could just go Command Z all the way back. But either way, use your history tab. It always shows up over here in your right-hand panels to go back a few steps if you're too lazy to hit Command Z. All right, now let's try a new filter. So again, I don't know if I want to play around with any more of the distortions, but there's like the one you saw in my slides today, the twirl one. Watch this. The twirl one's really cool because you can like spin it, right? That creates a really super cool one. That's like some crazy art. But I'm kind of done with this tool. Closing it out, I want to show you guys the filter gallery because there's a lot of power in the filter gallery. All right, already you can see that in the filter gallery, there's artistic filters, there's brush strokes, there's distortions, there's sketches, there's stylizing, there's textures. What your job is to do is to take your photo and to choose something art to turn it from a photograph into a piece of art. So whether, look at that, as colored pencil, this is what it comes out, and I can change the stroke width, right? Do you see what my art changing as I do that? You can change the stroke pressure of your pencil strokes and even the paper brightness. Like, look at that. And then, so let's say I'm going to save this. This turned my photograph into a color pencil. That's a little bit abstract though. I still want to kind of know what it is. So maybe my stroke width will be a little bit smaller so I can still kind of see it. All right, and there we go. Let's say I do like the brighter paper. Okay, so let's say I want to save this and I click OK. And then I change the name. Yes, again, unfortunately, Photo P is kind of funky like this. In Photoshop, this is a lot easier process, I promise. Last name, first initial, underscore, ephemeral, underscore. This one was pencil strokes, right? Or colored pencil. Colored pencil? I think it was colored pencil. All right, and click OK, and then you have to go File, Export as JPEG. Save high quality, yes. Now again, look at my history. I can go back. And then let's try, you have 4 due, so what else is Fitchhorn gonna try in her filter gallery? Let's see, I did colored pencil. I'm wondering what it would look like if I did, maybe, let's see what it looks like as charcoal. That's kind of cool. Graphic pen, oh, that's messy. That's another charcoal, those are all messy. Stamp, why is this all getting, it's just not liking it, I guess. That's that neon edge one. Well, I guess out of all of them, that's kind of cool. Let's see if you can play around with the slider. Don't be afraid to play around with the slider to get better results. This is kind of dark, but it's kind of cool. Well, let's say this is one of the ones you want to save. All right, so then you would go ahead and go to, again, click OK. And you want to name this, yes, again, you're going to get sick of hearing this. Last name, first initial, underscore, ephemeral, underscore, this one was charcoal. And click OK. And then go File, Export as JPEG, save. Okay, so I've got my third one. Fitchhorn wants 4 of these puppies, so let me go back to my original image in history, or Command Z my way back to here, and then I'm going to go and find one more cool filter. I really would like to see what it looks like. Ooh, look at the paint. I really like that. Let me see. Dry brush is cool too. Palette knife. Oh, that's way abstract. Plastic wrap, that's kind of crazy. Poster edges, rough pastels, smudge stick, sponge, underpainting. Sometimes underpainting is cool, but only when you use it with other, and watercolor is too much. What was this? Paint dots. I really like that. Let's see what happens. Ooh, now this looks like an oil painting. Ooh, I really like this. And look, you can choose your brush type. Simple, light rough, dark rough, wide sharp, wide blurry, sparkle. What's sparkle? Ooh, look at the sparkle. Let's try light rough. A little bit light. Dark rough. Ooh, I kind of like that. Wide sharp. Wide blurry. Well, I'm just going to pick one of them because this is really cool. It looks like an oil painting, like a, not a Renaissance, but an impressionistic, right? This looks like it could be something of the Monet era. So I'm going to say, okay, I did it. Fitchhorn can have her 4. Again, you're going to rename this one, last name, first initial, underscore. And again, you don't have to copy what I chose. You can choose your own filters. It's just I'm showing you how to name them all different so you get credit. So this one was brushstroke, I think. Yeah. Okay. And then you've got to go File, Export as JPEG. Save high quality, considering it's only a 200 pixel by 200 pixel 72 dpi image. This is the best we're going to get. If we blow this up, this is going to look jank. Look at how janky that looks. Ugh, I want to vomit. Just look at, that's kind of cool. But it makes me queasy. Like I need glasses, prescription glasses. So use your high quality images, please. And then that is it. You have 4 different images to turn into Fitchhorn along with your original untouched one. You are allowed to clean it up if you need to adjust the brightness or whatever, but I would want that one named. The original one should be last name, first initial, underscore, ephemeral, just with no filter names behind it. And remember, I only want the JPEGs, and it says that in assignment details. If you take a peek today, it says right here, you need to save them as JPEGs. It does not ask you for PSDs, all right? And that's also in School Loop, right? Not the edits, just all the way up here. I've got to add the edits in today. So even though the original image is due today, I'm not looking because you also need the 4 edits. I'm not going to be looking at it until Wednesday. So that buys you 2 days for those of you who put this off to the last minute. All right, have fun editing, guys. Let's see, let's turn this puppy off.